Many people drive over rivers and they don't think about what's under the water, and it's not until you get them under the water until their eyes open up and see that it's a whole new fascinating world that they never even thought was there.
There's a secret world under the surface of freshwater rivers in western North Carolina, but it's not such a secret anymore. Thanks to a series of sites on the Blue Ridge Snorkel Trail in western North Carolina, it's easy to visit this surprisingly colorful underwater world. There are more than 12 sites so far, all with easy walk-in public access. All you need is a snorkel and a mask. Let's get in the water and see what we can find. We joined the Haywood Waterways Association to explore the Pigeon River in Canton, North Carolina, where they were hosting an event to help people discover the Snorkel Trail site.
We feel that it's important to get a lot of the community out and engaged in our rivers to see how cool they are, and then maybe they can take back how important it is to help protect them.
If you're having a good time, you're more than likely to be a steward at any scale, in any capacity, at any point in your life. I mean, it's literally breathtaking, right? Because you put your body in that water, and we're today looking at 66 degrees, which is fairly warm for the pigeon, but it's also figuratively, because what you are seeing is something you'll never see. It's an explosion of colors, right? People hearken it sometimes when the conditions are right or the diversity is right to the tropics. We have some really colorful species down in there.
We do have a good diversity of fish at this site, and some of my favorite ones are the ones that hang out on the bottom. We have the tangerine darter, which this time of year will still have some orange color. We also have sculpin that kind of hang out down under the rocks, and if you're snorkeling by, sometimes they'll come out and see you. Green darter, Tuckasegee darters, and then you've got the ones that are above working around, like the northern hogsucker and some of the dace and river chub that we have in the area.
But Christine gets really excited about the aquatic insects you can find and what that means about water quality.
They don't bite. I didn't get any ones that bite.
All kinds of squirms.
I went and took a net out and we collected some of the benthic macroinvertebrates that we have in the area, because I like to have people understand that the fish that are here need to have something to eat, and a lot of these fish are specific in that they only eat macroinvertebrate insects.
Little green looking
Get
one.
close because they're really
Yeah, they
tiny.
might have got knocked out of their house.
Very small.
They're cool. They build houses that they live in, so they're closely related to the butterfly. A lot of these insects are bioindicators of water quality, and so we can base our water quality on what kind of bugs we find.
The Pigeon River Snorkel Site in Canton is in Haywood County, which is known as a headwater county.
And what does that mean? That means that the water that makes up all the rivers and streams comes from rainwater.
The watershed boundaries line up directly with our county boundaries, so no water enters the county, it all flows out.
So that makes us more important as stewards of this water quality. Haywood Waterways' motto is, it's crystal clear, it all starts here.
The Pigeon River eventually flows into the French Broad River in Tennessee. But upstream of that point, in nearby Transylvania County, there's a snorkel trail site in Rosman, North Carolina on the upper French Broad. We ventured out with Kevin Merrill, co-owner with his wife Christy of Oxbow River Snorkeling, for a guided float to some of his favorite snorkel spots. Will all be worth it when we get in the water.
So we are on the upper French Broad River in Rosman.
This is where the French Broad River originates. These headwater streams, they're all forested, they're protected lands.
As headwater streams come together, what you can find in the river expands.
As you're collecting more water and there's more habitat, you're picking up more species of fish, more species of reptiles, amphibians.
It didn't take us long to start spotting fish. Starting with the gilt darter, one of the many darters that call western North Carolina streams home.
Gilt darters, I've noticed, like behavior-wise, they're a little bit more curious here on this river. And you just look for the blotches on the sides. The females are typically black, and the males, you know, they're darker. Then during breeding season, they become like a bluish-green color. And the blotches are connected too.
Yeah, it's very cool how colorful they are. When you might think everything in here is kind of brown or tan or silvery, but
yeah. Most people think that fish here are brown or just bland colors. They think that the trout are the most beautiful fish, but then they see the darter and they're like, I had no idea. I see some Tennessee shiners over here. So the Tennessee shiners on the caudal fin, you look for a black square.
Different parts of the river have different habitats, which means different fish.
We got some mirror shiners and a hogsucker over here. That's the northern hogsucker.
All of the diversity you can find here is because of the water quality.
The more diversity that you have, the more healthy a stream is going to be. So having over 60 species of fish in the upper French Broad, it's not that we don't have impacts, but it could be worse. You know, instead of 60, we might have 4, like a lot of places do. There's a lot of the fish that we have here that are intolerant. And if those kind of fish go away, then we start to think, well, what's going on with the water?
And like Christine, Kevin is excited about aquatic insects. What is this?
So this is the caddisfly. These are what old timers called stick bait. They're shredders, so they shred organic material into smaller pieces.
They all have these different functions that they play. Aquatic insects are no different. Everything in this river has a purpose. All life has a purpose. Everything has, a functional feeding role, a functional, habitat. And so without everything kind of working in unison, we would lack the diversity that we see today.
And if diversity is linked to water quality, mussels are hard to overlook.
Here's a mussel. Let's see what it is.
Ooh.
This is a good find. The state tagged everything, so this tells me that this is a natural reproducing freshwater mussel.
The fact that it's not tagged means that the mussels here are happy and they're making babies.
Yes.
And we're getting new mussels.
Yep.
Which is awesome to see.
Absolutely. This is an example of one of our native mussels. This is the creeper mussel.
Mussels play a critical role in filtering freshwater rivers. And Kevin says taking people on snorkel trips helps them realize everything that's in the river that's worth protecting.
The number one thing that folks would tell me after their trips they would say, I had no idea there was so much life in the river. River snorkeling is very important because, it reaches a group of people that have a voice. Hopefully it reaches more people that are able to use that voice for the benefit of the river.
If you enjoyed that story, there's more where that came from. Hit subscribe to keep exploring with ScienceC and PBS North Carolina.